Today, let's talk about the 7 habits women display that turn men off immediately. But before diving into these 7 habits, I think it's important that I explain that the goal of this video is not to shame you as a woman, and it is also not to make you feel the pressure of perfection. I truly believe that when a man loves you, he's going to love you with your imperfections and with your flaws. However, these 7 habits that I am giving you in this video are not about being an imperfect human being. They are about being an unaware human being, which means that they're completely avoidable and completely preventable if a woman is making the effort to do her inner work and educate herself. So, unless you want to push away the guy you like in 10 days, these are the 7 habits I want you to stop doing immediately because they will turn men off. Habit number 1, being too needy and too clingy around the man you like. Now, before you go, Sami, I'm too smart, I'm too confident, I don't think I'm needy and clingy, beware, because I've seen some very gorgeous, very brilliant women be very needy and very clingy around the men they like, which means that this could look like wanting to text a lot, wanting to talk to him while he's at work. I particularly had this experience where I was out with a friend and his girlfriend called him 16 times in order to check on him. And so that was a great reminder to me about the importance of the work I teach my clients inside Elevate, because literally some women who are not self-aware, they could be the most loving humans. They could really love the guy and care about the guy. But the way they're showing up in their relationships is really needy, clingy, and it's suffocating for men. And no matter how much a man likes you or how much a man feels attraction towards you, if he feels like you constantly claw at him for attention and you constantly are on his phone or you constantly need his validation, it is going to make him run for the hills. Now, habit number 2 that I want you to stop because it's going to push the man in your life away is the habit of nagging and criticizing. Now, again, the women I work with in Elevate will tell me when I love somebody, obviously I'm going to tell them if they're doing something wrong. Obviously, I'm going to give them constructive feedback, right? Wrong. You see, as women, we love helping each other by giving each other feedback, and we know it comes from a good place. However, a man is not a woman in a hairy body. A man is a completely different kind of biological creature with a completely different brain wiring, with a completely different set of hormones. And the way men receive your feedback is as negative criticism. So, in other words, in the name of love, when women constantly tell a man what he's not getting right, what he could do better, how to optimize, he is going to run for the hills. He's going to feel turned off because you remind him of his mom. You don't remind him of his girlfriend. You don't remind him of the woman he wants to make love to. You remind him of his mother. So stop insisting on giving constructive feedback. And in my Elevate program, I talk about choosing your battles. Like, really, I understand sometimes we have to give that feedback to men, but let's choose our battles and let's be very aware of the fact that a woman who's criticizing and nagging is not very magnetic or appealing. Now, let's talk about habit number 3. I want you to stop if you don't want to turn the man you like off. And this is the habit of playing games. I think the clients I attract and I work with don't play games, but let's just say there are many feminine energy channels out there that are literally hardcore teaching women how to play games, how to appear disinterested, how to not show your emotion to a man, how to be a black cat and never reveal your feelings to a man, never be vulnerable, always leave him guessing, read his text and don't respond, take hours to respond on purpose, play cool, play hard to get. And honestly, like, if you're dealing with an evolved man, he can see through that crap. He can really see through it. He can see through those games. He can see through that manipulation. And it's a turn off because I believe the most attractive quality that a woman can possess is, if you're a feminine embodied woman, is authenticity, right? Living in your power, following your heart, feelings, following your natural flow. So when women play games, men are turned off by it. The more evolved the man, the faster he's turned off by it and the faster he sees through it. So don't play games. Be authentic. Now, habit number 4 that will turn men off immediately. And this is a big one. It's being negative all the time. I don't expect you to be a positive, happy bunny 24/7. I don't think any man expects that either. Any rational, reasonable, healthy, empowered, masculine man doesn't expect a woman to be only happy all the time and only dancey all the time. However, being negative all the time is a definite downer. You see, when you're negative all the time, when you are feeling down about life all the time, when you are constantly only sharing gossip and negative things about other people, your vibration goes really low, and vibration doesn't lie. There are these energy vampires, people you go close to and you can't explain it, but you feel like all your energy is leaving your body. And then there are people you go close to and they don't even have to say much, but you feel uplifted in their presence, you feel their positive energy. It's the same thing in dating and relationships. So if women are gossiping all the time, saying bad things about other people, focusing on what's wrong with this person, what's wrong with that person, what's wrong with my nose, what's wrong with my teeth, what's wrong with that job, what's wrong with the boss, what's wrong with the family. When you become such a negative person, it just trickles out energetically to men, to dating, to your love life, to your relationship. And that's very draining for a man to be around. So it's a huge turn off. The more evolved the man, the more busy the man, the more ambitious the man, the less he wants to hang out with somebody who's negative, because he's got enough of life pressures, and the last thing he wants is to come to a romantic partner who's never happy, always complaining, always gossiping. So no go, don't be negative and don't gossip. What a waste of energy. Number 5 habit that turns men off immediately is when a woman is overtly controlling. So again, we control in the name of love, but mostly we control because we don't trust our guy, right? So if you are finding yourself micromanaging your boyfriend's schedule, micromanaging when he comes home, when he goes away, micromanaging what's on his plate, if you are micromanaging what he's wearing, not this shirt, wear that one, those socks are bad, wear those shoes, you're not treating him as a full-grown adult that you trust. You're actually treating him as a child. And men hate that. Again, the more evolved the man, the more emotionally intelligent the man, the more he's going to resist control. And I think that's one of the most powerful things about my relationship with my husband, because we truly do not control each other. We give each other the freedom to be our full selves in the marriage. And I think that is so attractive. It's so attractive for me to have a man in my life that doesn't control me and tell me what to do. And it's the same for him. It's so attractive for him to have a woman in his life that doesn't constantly micromanage him like a puppet and doesn't constantly put her attention on him. I have a busy life. I have a happy life. I have a passionate life. I love my work. I love my clients. I love the women I get to serve. I love my travels. And so that helps me not overtly focus on Chris all the time, my husband, and instead live my full life. And he loves that. He loves that because when we are together, it's electric, it's attractive. It's like you want to be with this person, you like them. And it's not because he's forced to love me, it's because it comes organically when you're not like this nagging, criticizing, controlling type. We're getting to the end of the video. Keep watching and give me a like and hit subscribe if this is helpful, if this is resonating. Number 6 habit that I want you to drop, because it's going to turn men off, is lack of confidence. And by confidence, I don't define it as Botox, figure, hair, skin. I do believe those things are important. I do believe those things, when a woman has them, it's to her advantage. However, I work with a lot of amazing women who, despite looking good and despite having achieved a lot, still lack confidence. And by that I mean confidence that is on the inside, confidence that you know your worth, confidence that you know you're worth a man's time, you know you're worth a man's attention, you know you're worth a man's money, energy. And so lack of confidence basically looks like when a woman doesn't trust her inner worth. And so what she's going to do is that she's going to constantly look at his face and fish for compliments. Look at his face and ask for validation. Do you love me? Do I look good? Are you happy? Is this nice? Did I cook well? Do you like the food? And of course, some of it is human. If you're trying a new dish and you want him to say it's good, that's fine. But I'm talking more about this needy, clingy energy that we started the video with, where lack of confidence shows as constantly needing reassurance from your guy. And men will give some reassurance, but after a point, again, it can be very draining for a man to see that the woman he likes or loves and the woman he chose doesn't believe she's good enough and constantly looks at his face to feel good enough. And by the way, if you're struggling with something like this, Elevate is the place to be. It is my signature live 6 months long group coaching program where we help you do the inner work and feminine energy embodiment to become the woman that men adore, love, feel obsessed with. So the link is going to be in the description below. Check it out, and if it calls you, come join me. Now we are on to the last habit that I want you to drop because it's going to push men away, turn men off immediately. And this habit, surprisingly, is again something that very smart women also fall prey to, including myself sometimes, when I'm interacting with my husband. And this is the habit of being overly available. Now, overly available is the woman who just drops everything to accommodate the man she likes or loves. And that means the minute he texts, you're there. Not because you're not playing games, but because you literally have nothing else to do and he's the only thing on your mind all the time. And so the minute he texts, you have to reply. The minute he texts, you're watching your phone. The minute he says, let's meet tonight, you're happy to say yes. And the problem with being overtly available is that it signals to men's brains that this woman is low effort. Like, I don't have to do much to keep her interested. I don't have to do much to keep her responding to me, and I can take her for granted because she's literally here and she's not going anywhere, so why should I be worried? So it's to your advantage to have a full life. I never like to say things like take your time to get back to him. I don't like to say things like when you've seen his message, ignore it so that he feels like you're hard to get. But I like to come at it from the perspective of be the best version of yourself. Because if you're being the best version of yourself, you probably have a full life. You're living your best life. You're traveling. You're following your passion. You're doing great at your career. You're going to the gym, you're looking after yourself, you're going horse riding, you're learning a new language, you're learning a new hobby, you're enrolling for Elevate, doing the curriculum, up-leveling your romance skills. So that should automatically make you a more busy person with a full life, lots of interests and lots of interesting things you're doing. And then that automatically reduces your availability, but not by falsely creating an illusion of unavailability, but by actually being busy and living your best life. So those were the 7 habits. Let's do a quick recap. Being overly needy or clingy, criticizing or nagging, playing games, being negative all the time, gossiping, complaining, being overtly controlling, lacking confidence and needing his validation, and last but not the least, being overly available. Now, as I said, all these habits are preventable, they're avoidable for anybody who does the inner work. So if this was helpful, make sure to give me a like, leave me a comment below. Which of these habits have you seen in yourself? No shame in our game. Which of these habits have you seen in yourself and you are now working on releasing? And if you'd like me to make yet another video with 7 more habits that women display that turn men off and push men away, then say part 2 below this video. And if there's enough interest, I will come back with another video giving you 7 more revealing behaviors about men that turn them off when a woman does it. Thanks for being here.